Apple unveiled a slate of new products on Wednesday, including the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus and iPhone 14 Pro models, which feature larger displays, improved battery life and an upgraded camera with more advanced lenses. The company also introduced the completely redesigned Apple Watch Ultra, which is targeted toward outdoor sports enthusiasts and features a larger screen wrapped in a titanium case. Additionally, the company revealed its Apple Watch Series 8. New features include low power mode, which extends the battery life up to 36 hours from a single charge. However, new product launches have done little to move the company's stock price in the past, industry analysts tell CNBC. Meanwhile, shares typically rise after Apple reports earnings that beat the market's expectations. At the stock market open on September 7, Apple's shares were trading at $154.83 per share. That's down slightly from $157.96 per share at the close of trading on September 1. If you had invested $1,000 into Apple a year ago, you'd see a slight return on your investment and have about $1,000 as of September 6, 2022, according to CNBC's calculations. If you had invested $1,000 into Apple 5 years ago, your investment would be worth about $3,916 now, nearly tripling in value, according to CNBC's calculations. And if you had given your $1,000 investment a decade to grow, you'd have about $6,665 now, up nearly 540%, according to CNBC's calculations, which also factors in the company's various stock splits over the years. Apple's stock began trading publicly on December 12, 1980 at $22 per share. If you had invested $1,000 into the company during its early days, your investment would be worth $1.6 million as of September 6. Apple briefly became the first U.S. company to be valued at $3 trillion in January 2022. The tech giant was also the first publicly traded U.S. company to be valued at $1 trillion and $2 trillion. However, despite Apple's gains, it's important to note that a company's past performance can't be used to predict its potential success in the future. Given the volatility of the stock market, investing in individual stocks can be a risky financial move. Instead, a passive investment strategy tends to make sense for most investors. If you're interested in investing in the stock market, try an index fund that follows the S&P 500, which tracks the stock performance of the top 500 American companies. As of September 6, the S&P 500 was down about 14% compared to 12 months ago. However, the index has grown by about 58% since 2017, increased by nearly 173% since 2012 and ballooned by about 2,900% since 1980. Apple's iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro have arrived. The tech titan's most important products, the latest iPhones pack improved performance, longer battery life, cameras with better low-light performance, and new safety features. The iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro are solid evolutions of the iPhone formula, which helped make Apple one of the richest public companies on Earth by market cap at nearly $2.5 trillion. Does that mean you should crash through the front door of your local Apple store and grab a new iPhone? Not necessarily. It's good to have all these features, but it's not enough to just kind of drop everything and go out and buy a new phone yet. That's especially true if you've got an iPhone 13 or iPhone 13 Pro, or even an iPhone 12 or iPhone 12 Pro. That's not to say Apple hasn't improved its smartphone. But when it comes to dropping major bucks on them, you can save your cash if you're still packing a fairly new phone. The iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max are Apple's flagship devices. They pack the company's all-new A16 chip, 48-megapixel camera sensors, and an updated cutout for the front-facing cameras and Face ID sensors called the Dynamic Island. But at $999 and $1,099 for the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max, respectively, the Pros are pricey propositions for even the biggest Apple fanboys and gals. That said, you should consider making the leap to a new phone if you're still using an iPhone 11 Pro or an iPhone XS. The power jump will improve your phone's performance while it's running newer apps and games, and the camera upgrades will help you shoot from a distance. Perhaps most crucially, you'll enjoy new safety features like crash detection and satellite communication. It's an easy sell if you're an Apple fan, want the company's top-of-the-line offerings, and have an older phone. But if you've still got an iPhone 12 Pro or iPhone 13 Pro, the new phones are a tougher sell. You'll get always-on displays and improved camera capabilities out of the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max, but it's a difficult call to know whether those changes are worth more than $1,000. One major difference is a new, dynamic island space at the top of the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max that houses the true depth camera and Face ID sensor. It's a functional area that can display music you're playing, timers, and even sports scores, great additions for sure, but not make or break propositions. The iPhone 14 Pros also get better low-light capabilities thanks to the new 48-megapixel main camera sensors and photonic engine. Apple says the phones will get 2 times better low-light performance from the main, telephoto, and true depth cameras, and 3 times better on the ultra-wide camera. Again, these features are nice to have. But upgrading is not essential if you've got an iPhone 12 Pro or iPhone 13 Pro, and you have other items you need to spend money on, like video games or food. Apple's iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max took center stage at the company's September 7th event. The standard iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus, however, didn't get much in terms of earth-shattering updates. The new phones pack the same chip found in the iPhone 13 line, and offer slight improvements to overall battery life and performance. The new 12-megapixel cameras paired with Apple's photonic engine mean you'll get better low-light photo capabilities with 2 times better overall low-light performance via the ultra-wide camera and front true depth camera, and 2.5 times better performance from the main camera. Those who own the iPhone 12 may want to consider the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus because they will likely provide a speed boost, better longevity, and sharper cameras. Still, people who are perfectly satisfied with these elements of their phone might want to hold on to the iPhone 12 just a bit longer. Apple's new iPhones are impressive pieces of technology, and absolutely worth upgrading to for certain consumers. If you've still got an iPhone 8 knocking around in your pocket or handbag, it's time to send that bad boy to the big tech graveyard in the sky and upgrade. You're going to get far better performance, longer-lasting batteries, and wildly improved cameras. My mom is still holding onto her iPhone 8 Plus, and these new phones are calling her name. Those who own the iPhone 10 and XS should also ditch their ancient phones for the iPhone 14 or iPhone 14 Pro. They've outlived their usefulness. The same goes for the iPhone 11. If you've got an iPhone 12, the decision is a bit harder. You're going to get big improvements in terms of camera quality and performance, but your phone likely still works well. If you're on the fence, it comes down to how badly you want to spend the cash. What if you're the type of person who wants to see how long you can keep your iPhone before it dies? Go for it. There's no law against keeping an outdated smartphone. For everyone else with an older model, the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro are worth a look.